Hi, my name is Nafisa Khanbhai. I live in Mombasa and I'm 40 years old. I'm a urostomy for the last 30 years. In the year 1985, in the month of January, I started developing pains all over my stomach, my back, and my brother took me to Dr. Subhash Shah. He was very popular in Mombasa at that time. And after checking on me, he suspected that something could be wrong with my kidneys. So after doing all the tests and after doing the kidneys x-rays, it was confirmed that both my kidneys were infected, and I was in need of a surgery. The most painful part I found at that time was taking the kidney x-rays, because they were giving me 6 needles at a go on my hands and the veins, and those needles would remain like that until the x-rays would be done. So that was a very painful process. However, due to some financial problems, because just a year before that my dad had gone into coma also, and we had to pay for all his medical expenses, my family had to organize for some funds. Luckily, we had a house which my dad then sold it. From January to November 27th was when my surgery took place. This was a totally new thing for me, and way back in the year 1985 in Kenya, this was very rare. I think I was the first girl at the age of 9 years to have had this surgery here in Kenya. The challenge was that even the urine bags were not available, and we would have to get it from Denmark. Those days the urine bags were the disposable type. Once they are filled up, you remove them. So in a day I would have to change at least 4 to 5 times, and that was very painful. Eventually the skin even died out, and every time I would have to clean it with tincture iodine. The surgery lasted 5 hours, from 8 a.m. in the morning to 1 p.m. It was done on a Friday, and I was in the hospital for 15 days. However, before the surgery, from the time I was diagnosed till then, I had to be very careful with what I ate and the amount of water, and since the urine wasn't clean, I used to get white pussy stuff in that. Till then I was wearing nappies because from birth I'm a spina bifida, and I had no control over urine and toilet. So after the surgery the nappies came out, but then to date I'm still wearing a special stitched panty which is made of plastic and material. The reason for that is it protects my clothes from getting spoiled in case if the bag leaks out. After the surgery, it took me at least 3 to 4 months to get used to the urine bag. However, even the stitches it came to a point they were swollen, they had got pus in it, and every stitch was pricked with needle to remove all that. Well, I found it quite frustrating in the beginning, because even at night I could not sleep. I would have to wake up middle of the night, empty the bag, getting used to the whole system, and even that on the stomach. So eventually I stayed at home for some months. I missed out on my school. I resumed. By the time I resumed school, it was already towards February, so I had all the studies to catch up with, but with all the teachers being cooperative, I somehow managed. However, the school life was really difficult because of me being the odd one out with all the changes in me, and not only the urine bag but my disability and everything. So it was difficult for the rest of the children to understand my situation, and due to that I did reach up to KCPE. I managed to finish up to standard 8 somehow, but then I had to give up because I couldn't cope up. I had a dream of becoming a lawyer, but then it has up to now still remained as a dream. However, in the last 10 years, after I started sensitizing people about disability and various other issues related to disability, I've seen a lot of changes in people generally and even in the environment. I've got a lot of friends now. I have a social life. I'm busy with my own social work that I do as a charity organization. I'm glad that people are taking things positively. However, there are times when we talk of like having a relation, the intimate part. Well, that I think is still a challenge in the society, but then it depends on what kind of a person you have in your life, the partner and all that. With the bags, whether it's a urine bag or a toilet bag, I think it depends on how the other partner takes it as. It's not that it's dirty. Of course, you keep it clean, but it's a psychology again. For those who are going through this, whether you are going through a urostomy or whether you have a toilet bag, it should not affect a person mentally or psychologically, because if you let it affect you, then it affects everybody around you. You just take it as part of your body, part of your life, and move on. When people see the positivity in you, they get attracted towards you, because if it doesn't matter to you, then it should not matter to anybody. The challenge that we used to face before of not even having urine bags now, however, now that has become much easier because there are quite a number of people now who are having all these bag issues here in Kenya. The availability is very easy, and the stomach care groups that we all have joined up, they do support one another. Basically, I think we can overcome all the challenges, but if we all take it positively, that is all. Personally, yes, I had to face a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, but each time I just got over it and I decided to move on. I did not let myself sink into those situations or even get depressed. I just kept myself busy. Even now I just keep myself busy with so much to do around me that I don't even have time to think whether I'm a urostomy or I have a disability to cope up with. It's there, and it will always be there. It won't change anything. It's just that I have to keep myself going, and that is my message to everybody out there. Keep yourself going, and when you keep yourself fit and when you move on with everything in life, it should not get into you mentally at all. Once you let that happen, then it becomes difficult for people to survive. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. Having a urine bag or a toilet bag, it's not a big deal. It's how we manage ourselves. For me, yes, it's been 30 years down the line, and now I don't even feel anything. I've become so used to. I change the bags myself. I do the cleanup myself. It's like part of my life. It's just doesn't make any difference to me anymore. The only challenging part would be that in case if I'm outside and if it leaks out, then I have to look for a place where I can go and change, because I do carry an extra set of urine bag in my handbag all the time. So when that happens, it's a bit a stressful situation, because looking for a place depends on where I am to go and change. But other than that, it's just as good as it's not there. The only time I feel that I'm wearing a urine bag is when I feel that, okay, now it's time for me to go and empty it. Otherwise, for me, it's just like any other part of my body. the from 1985 to now, yes, getting used to it was in the beginning a challenge. The treatment, the medications, the change in the whole system. But then I was too young at that time, so it was, and plus going to school also. But I used to like carry it with me in school also. Whenever it's filled up during break time, lunch time, I used to go and change it, and I carried on with my studies. However, it was difficult to grasp everything at that young age. But now, yeah, I think I'm a more stronger person than what I was. So that's all I have to say, and I hope my message helps everybody out there. Just be positive and just move on with life.